It's billed as the Midwest's largest charity book sale, the annual Greater St. Louis Book Fair. The 2016 edition runs April 28th to May 1st at West County Center. As we learned when we took a look behind the scenes, it's a labor-intensive process for the volunteers who organize the four-day event.
We work on Book Fair from May through April every year.
And how many books are we talking about in all that you sort through and then sell?
We sort through 1 million books a year. It's a huge job, and we have about 60 year-round volunteers who help us do this. Books are gone through, first of all, to determine whether they are in a good enough condition to go to Book Fair. We will sort out books that are moldy or falling apart or really dirty that we know people aren't going to want to have in their homes. We say if a book is not nice enough for you to take to bed with you and read in bed, then you're not going to buy it. So first of all, we do that. Then the books are put into these carts over here, which we call our second sort. And we have volunteers who go through all these carts and divide all these books into our different categories. And these other carts are the category carts by volunteer. So we have each volunteer has his or her own category or categories. Everybody specializes in his or her love, or you develop a love for your category. Jay is sorting and putting price tags on these books, and then he will put them into boxes. And they will be in his categories, which are math, science, computers. Peggy is packing paperbacks. Paperbacks are $1 each, so they are not marked, but she's putting them into cartons by category. Nancy and Marjorie over here are working to price every single book. They will put price stickers on each book, and they will further sort them down into different categories. For instance, Nancy has sports and St. Louis sports, and these books will then, after their price, will be put into cartons and labeled appropriately, and then they will all be taken to West County for Book Fair. Sometimes we'll look up books just to see what they're selling for elsewhere. And that's what Doug is doing right now, is looking up books online.
Volunteer Nancy Billingham's specialties include autographed books.
This year we will be selling this Jimmy Carter book. It will be in the children's section. It is written and autographed by both Jimmy and Amy Carter. Very interesting, very pretty book. Amy has a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree, and she did the artwork inside the book. Of course, Jimmy wrote the story. It's very unusual to have both of them sign it like that, and also very nice. This book will only be $12 in our children's section. We also have an unusual book. We have Mr. Wizard's Experiments for Young Scientists, which many of us remember Mr. Wizard experimenting on TV. It is signed by Don Herbert, which makes it also a bit of a collector's piece. We have, you can see all the other books we have here. We have a book that kind of crossed categories for me. This is Kurt Warner's book, Keep Your Head Up. It is for children. It's an inspirational book for children, and it's signed by Kurt, which makes it pretty unusual. His signature is actually fairly valuable, so it will be in our case books.
Case books are those priced over $25. That's where you'll probably find this complete collection of Beatrix Potter stories. And there are those occasional book donations too special even for the cases.
We were just fortunate enough, 6 years ago, to find a first edition by a certain publisher of A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway, and it was signed. And that particular book sold at auction for $6,000. That is the most expensive book we have ever sold, and we are so grateful to the person who donated that to us.
proceeds from the fair benefit local nonprofit literacy and education programs. The typically large turnout for this annual event suggests that hardcovers and paperbacks will continue in popularity despite the growth of digital books.
We sell hundreds of thousands of books every year, and personally, I still like to hold a book in my hand.